I read Inside Out and Back Again in middle school. That's why I wanted to come to this event.
Hearing her speak today and hearing how much her stories related, I can relate to them, it made me feel more intrigued and connected to wanting to find out more about her books and how she tells the stories that many of us have.
I'm in the point of my life where I want to find out, go back to my Vietnamese culture and roots. Doing stand-up comedy, since you have to know deeply about yourself and be self-aware to write jokes, that's the part, the Vietnamese culture just came to me, and that's why I came here, just so I can meet Thanhhlai, the great author, and her stories. And after this event, I was pleased because I learned a lot. Now I want to ask my parents questions about their past.
I really enjoyed Thanhha's humor. I feel like it's a really good insight into how he brings her personality to the interviews and the readings and everything.
Yeah, I enjoyed kind of that writing perspective as someone who was maybe interested in going to journalism, that kind of whole idea of telling your story and telling what needs to be said, and at the same time kind of applying your own kind of twist. And as she said to, I think someone asked her a question, yeah, I lie for a living. So she kind of was able to kind of do a little bit of actual factual storytelling combined with her own kind of narrative. It was cool.
Oh, I think the author was so honest and hilarious, so she made important things in her book, but she made it funny and made it relatable to everyone. And I saw these young people here, they all loved it. So she's passing on her experience and to the younger generation, which is really important, I think. So I thought she was great.
I thought it was really insightful. I'm not Vietnamese myself, but I found myself relating to some of her stories, how she had to, what's it called? How she was in a mostly white neighborhood throughout her childhood, and she had to, because I also had a lot of siblings, so we were really protective of each other inside the home and outside the home. So I thought it was really insightful. She was really funny.
I just think with a lot of Vietnamese stories, once you dive into the diaspora and all these complex languages, it's always just nice to hear a different story and give it the time to really hear its truth. So I was curious about her mom and what her mom is like as a person. I'd love to follow her work and to absorb it and see what the writing's like. And so I'm excited in that sense.
Yeah, I think just kind of learning a little more about kind of her family's background, and obviously kind of, I think the thing that was most poignant perhaps was when she was talking about her father, and it's that's something that when you associate the fact that she's missing in action, that there's a lot of sadness there, and her mom they didn't allow her to and her family kind of feel that way, and they kind of said, well, he's coming back or he might not come back. And so I think that kind of bit of hope, which is kind of neat.
To see how it manifests itself in the work, because as a personality, she's like a firecracker. She's super vibrant and really enjoyable, but I know that reflection, it's really, really hard, and a lot of it is covered in humor as a person, but I want to see it in writing. Yeah.
To me, I think there has to be a lot more Vietnamese comedians out there. That will help tell stories too, being funny, and also laughter is spread. It's a cure. So, and she brought that tonight. I was very pleased with it because I felt like I was at a little bit like a comedy event, even though it's a book signing, a podcast book signing event. It felt like a little bit of a comedy club too. That's why I love it. I'm glad I'm here. Thank you.
Well, she said that there's a novel in all of us. I mean, she basically encouraged us to try. We should try. Maybe we think we're lousy writers, but maybe there is a book in all of us. And so, for a lot of us who are try to be writers, and we can't publish the way she does, but she made it sound like maybe it's possible and doable. Yeah, she made it. Yeah. It's pretty generic. It's not just being Vietnamese, so it's just about anyone.
My favorite part is just, honestly, listening to the stories. Second place, the food, drinks, but but just listening to her story and getting a hold of the book. Yeah, and I'm gonna find out. I'm gonna read this book, and then I'm gonna learn a lot. I'm gonna learn a lot about her story, and then probably the Vietnamese culture.